turns out, among my enterprises, I own the lion's share of the Chattanooga Choo-Choo, based right outside of Santa Fe in the delightful little village of Lamy. Yes, the stories you read about me in Fortune magazine are all true. Among my many skills, I am a wonderful business Mongol. One of those notorious fat cats you are always hearing about. Except I am so very benevolent and Gandhi-like, but I digress. Because I am on the board of the excellent Santa Fe Animal Shelter and am such a public figure, I decided it would be bad for my image to send these kittens parcel post. The sympathetic press, no doubt, would object. So in a spirit of goodwill, so common to a goddess like me, I changed my strategy, telling them I was sending them to cowboy camp. I put the kinetic kittens on my beloved train, found them fabulous seats in the famed Kit Kat Club, which I personally decorated in my Art Deco style. How do I do it all? It's a wonderment even to me. I spoke to my good friend, Miss Kitty Carson, the attendant of the club car, and quietly slipped her some amazing catnip and some cash money. Kitty, oh chum, oh pal, I whispered. These two are named Bosky and Apache. They're cute, but don't let their looks deceive you. Watch them closely and put all their victuals on my tab. Take good care of them, but whatever you do, do not bring them back to New Mexico. They'll be happier in Texas, and I'll be happier knowing they can't escape, and I'll be the only cat again. And when you pull into the Austin station, I told Miss Carson, make certain my cousin, Billy Bobcat, takes custody of these two little rascals. He'll give them a great big Texas howdy. Kitty nodded and sneakily rubbed the sides of her nose as she pocketed my gifts. On my way off the train, I checked on the kittens to make certain they hadn't squirmed their way off the choo-choo and foiled my plan once again. And to my relief and surprise, they were still placidly sitting on the lushly upholstered seats.
Wowza, Vanity, this is so much fun. I can't believe you're sending us off to what a big weekend cowboy adventure, piped up Bosky, leaping up to hug me.
You're the best, big sister, Apache lisped as she tuddled over to embrace my legs.
Okay, what were these little actor kitties up to with all this sappy affection? It seemed perfectly appropriate for them to adore me. Everyone did. But this mushy game didn't have to go both ways. If they looked up to me as their brilliant elder sister, I certainly deserved their undying respect and love. And I suppose once in a while, to a discreet handful of intimates, I might reluctantly admit that we might be distantly associated. But in my book, kittens should follow the golden rule laid down by Queen Victoria.
Kittens and children should be seen and not heard.
Giving the two my one last stern admonition to stay aboard until arrival, and only to leave their cowboy adventure with their cowboy adventure leader named Billy Bobcat. I departed. As I stepped off the train, I distractedly noticed the paparazzi milling about, excitedly snapping my picture. With my custom aplomb, I decided to throw him a bone and struck a pose, gracefully waving as the train pulled out of the station. Sighing with a sense of satisfaction, I congratulated myself on a disaster averted and a job well done. Dear reader, let us scamper through the story on nimble kitten feet as we leave our heroine in blissful ignorance. Assuming the adventure is over, we now jump aboard the Kit Kat car where the adventure has just begun.
The kittens had often heard Mickey commenting on the news. She would get especially indignant when it came to the public shenanigans of their intended guardian, Billy Bobcat, the politician. Basically, they gathered, he was a giant hairdo with a tiny body underneath. On Vanity's call, Billy Bobcat had good-naturedly agreed to take on and straighten out the kittens. It would be good PR for his campaign. And then, he reasoned, being so good-looking, like all the good-hair politicians in Texas are, what choice did he have but to turn the collecting of the kittens at the railroad event, like all events before and since, into a campaign rally. Bosky spied the headline announcing the campaign rally in the newspaper that arrived with their dinner tray. Billy Bobcat to conduct dangerous juvenile delinquents to county jail in Texas Justice Railroad Extravaganza. The headline was accompanied by 2 criminal sketches which barely approximated the blue-gray kittens, making them look grizzled and crafty and not at all like their cute selves. Below the picture was the caption, Bosque and Apache, ringleaders of the infamous posse, the Russian Blue Crew.
That's supposed to be us. Bosky cried in shock, then realized the full meaning of the headline. We're not going to cowboy camp after all, he wailed.
What do you expect? Billy Bob is a Texas politician. They are pretty, they posture, but they don't protect. We'll just have to sneak out the back way when we arrive. Caterwauled Apache, ever the pragmatist.
Luckily for the kittens, when the train arrived at the station, the campaign rally was in full force. Colorful streamers and fluttering confetti filled the air, and piñatas full of delightful treats swayed overhead. Brass mariachi bands and dancing felines paraded through the crowds, which cheered as Billy Bob delivered a rousing speech about keeping the streets of Texas clean of unsavory factions. Everyone aboard the train ran to the window to stare at the spectacle, and Bosky and Apache were able to slip out through the caboose.
Now where? Whispered Bosky, glancing around nervously.
Let's slip into the crowd and try to blend in, suggested Apache.
Remember the criminal sketches, Patch? They'll be on the lookout for the Russian Blue Crew, and our fur will give us away.
Well, maybe we can find some disguises, Apache said hopefully, glancing at a nearby clothing cart selling cowboy hats and festival masks. Apache suddenly felt someone tugging on her skirt.
A beautiful gray and brown cat wearing white mittens appeared from nowhere and announced, I am Mercury, the messenger cat. When I was a kitten, I was rescued, and now I rescue other cats in peril. It is my honor to help you escape from this Texas madhouse and return you to a more civilized state. Because this is a furry tale, and all things are possible, Mercury let out a huge meow and voila! Conjured up a debonair and mysterious tabby wearing a Sam Spade trench coat.
Hey, kids. He motioned them over with a furtive hiss. The name's Wiley. I'm a freedom fighter in the resistance against stupidity. And it's just as I thought. I got a tip that this Russian blue crew was nothing more than two adorable kittens. I'm here to smuggle you out. If you want to escape, hide under my coat. Bosky and Apache ducked into the voluminous folds of the trench coat and kept pace with the cunning cat as he walked through the crowd. Now let's get you little fugitives out of the great state before you're arrested. They just love to arrest people in this state, murmured Wiley to the kittens. Billy Bobcat owes me big time. What was he thinking? He chuckled, shaking his head. Arresting kittens. That's just as bad as the dastardly deed of arresting Santa Claus in the classic holiday movie Miracle on 34th Street. You never mess with the great wholesomes. And you two are it. Kittens are up there with apple pie. Flag Day.
Wiley, as good as his word, dashed them out to Austin Bergstrom International Airport, seated them in first class, and then traded his trench coat for a pilot's cap, taking the seat in the cockpit and flying the plane up, and away toward New Mexico. The two jet-set kitties settled into their luxurious leather seats. Bosky sipped a song of milk punch and nibbled on the catnip-flavored peanuts, purring to beat the band as he proclaimed,
Flying Cat West is the only civilized way to travel.
The entire plane toasted this sentiment while one passenger blurted out, God bless us, everyone. He was clearly in the wrong story. The two poised young felines conversed as their private Russian blue
Language.
in their private language, as they planned further trips.
That was even more exciting than cowboy camp.
Won't Vanity be surprised to see us?
This game she has invented is such fun.
I wonder where she'll send us next.
Or maybe we could send her someplace she hasn't been.
I wonder if Cat West has flights to Siberia.
Valiant Vanity vanquish our vulnerable kittens into the void? Will the vigilante Vanity emerge victorious to write more verse? Will our felicitous feline kittens finagle their way out of this fractured fairy tale? Tune in tomorrow. The game is afoot.